you're going to find that so much of that is so intertwined and interwoven. And it's like you're going to have, instead of thinking, well, I'm going to do math, you're going to find out, well, there's math and there's reading and there's problem solving and then there's the literacy component, the speaking, the listening, that, so it's just one project can cover so many things.
Right.
And your kids are going to grow so much quicker in that one project, even though it's not your typical, we're going to do math at this hour and we're going to do reading at this hour. It's all integrated and intertwined, and it's fantastic.
And that's great. You want to see that from the kids. You want to see that growth, that and that excitement in learning, because I think that's something that won't change no matter what timeline or what grade level kids are at, or what technologies come around. That excitement when, even if it's something small, when they're just building one little thing, it can open the door for all new kinds of research by student-led research, stuff that they want to go down a rabbit hole almost.
Right. And what I found was, when you talk about the data, so I'll give you just a little, in my classroom before I came into my position, one of the reasons I think they truly decided, well, maybe she's got something here and maybe she's doing something here, is some of my kids grew more than 2 years in their math skills.
I did read that, yes.
Yeah. So it was just like, oh my, and I don't think it was 100% the 3D printing. It was a combination of some of the different things that I had gotten grants for, but that whole idea of coming in and looking at a problem and encompassing that whole thing versus individual silos of teaching, which is such a huge shift in education. I mean, I've been teaching, this is my 33rd year, and that certainly is not how I've taught most of my career.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready to leave. I'm not ready to leave yet.
It certainly wasn't the way I did learn. It was very very teacher oriented throughout most of my life. And, going through college through the late 2000s, you saw a beginning shift. And now in the classroom, and obviously in these master's programs, it's definitely trying to get to a student-led orientation of the learning. Now, have there been any negative impacts with using this extra technology with the students that you can think of? And if not, that's a good thing, obviously, too.
Right. No, I would say if there's a negative to it, it's that there isn't a set curriculum, and so you are spending hours coming up with curriculum to find ways to incorporate all of this in. So when you look at a PBL, those lessons, they take hours, weeks to come up with. And it's not, the one positive about that, though, is it's truly not something you should try and develop on your own. It's going to take collaboration of multiple teachers, which I think is a huge positive. Rather than, I'm going to go do this lesson and I'm going to incorporate all of these things within that thematic teaching, I can then look at my team of teachers. Well, I'm going to look at my math teacher and my music teacher and my art teacher, and how can I take this one project and encompass all of those areas versus individually. But it definitely takes time, energy, effort, willpower, perseverance. That, in order to look at that kid at that growth mindset, it's not just a set of information, it's skills. Learning how to read, write, speak, talk, listen, problem solve, critical think, all of those things. And I don't necessarily know that the way we were teaching before, that for certainly kids of my population, were coming away with. They were bored out of their mind.
I would agree with it 100% with that. You definitely need them engaged, and the moment you lose them, you can lose them for the day, for the week, for the school year. It's very simple.
When they come in, they're like, look, you think I care about your 2 times 2? I didn't have breakfast this morning. I could care less, I'm hungry. Or, there's a fight on the bus, or, we can go on and on. But
absolutely.
So, but when you come in, and I would just say, when my kids would walk in the door, what are we doing today? And I don't think it was it wasn't me. It was not me. It was what they were being allowed to do, what opportunities they had. So I don't think it's an individual case. I think anybody that would offer those things in their classroom would have similar results.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And I think that pretty much covers everything with this interview. So I know we did a lot of correspondence back and forth trying to make it work for about 14-minute video, but that's perfect. That was great. Everything you said, touches on everything I think we as educators want to get out of using technology in a classroom. It's not just I would say it's not just like a babysitter. It's a tool. It's facilitating the actual learning.
Right. If it's not interactive, then it's probably something that should not be in the classroom. If it's meant just for the kid to be on the computer, that's something they can do at home.
Yeah.
So if you're not interacting and you're not getting a response and they're not actively engaged and involved in what you're doing, it shouldn't be happening in your classroom.
Definitely.
Unless it's an assessment, and of course, obviously, they have to do that on their own. But yeah, kids should constantly be speaking, listening, talking, sharing, engaging, critical thinking throughout the day. I mean, very, very little. You shouldn't walk into a classroom and see kids just sitting there.
Yes, I agree. So that'll wrap it up for this. Again, Robin, thank you very much for this. I appreciate it.
No problem.
It's great to talk to other educators.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.